So this is the library. And that you can get to the library from this, this set of tabs across the top of the home page. So the library has kind of new and updated families. And then it has your main families, split up by these sections. So system families, components, annotations and details, groups, drafting views and sheets, and pending approval. And we will come back to pending approval. Now, if I want to browse through the library and find, just look at, see what's there, then I can go in and look at that. So within components, it's further subdivided up by the categories. So these are the Revit categories. If you don't see the category you're looking for here, then you can click on all categories, and this will give you a list of all the categories that you can then search to find the one you're looking for. So if you go into furniture, then it lists all the furniture items that you have in the library. So I have 93 furniture items. Now, if you want to see everything in the library, all the families in the library, we have a see all. So we go to see all, and we have 3,227 items in our library. Now, I'll quickly walk through, how you can browse through this table, because we have similar tables throughout Kinship. So the first thing is you can view it in different modes. So we have grid view. So the grid view gives us these larger thumbnails. It has the family name, how many types there are, and then the load button. So if I have a version of Revit that is appropriate for this family on the machine that I'm running, then the load button is blue. And if I press this, it will load it directly into my model. Now, if I press Shift, it goes to edit. And so what edit does is it loads it into the family editor rather than loading it into the model. I then have basic. So this gives me the same information, but now it's in a tabular form. So I just have all these, the same data, but now it's in this table. And then detailed adds these extra columns here. So now I can see how many projects this family has been placed in, how many instances have been placed, have any of those been modified? So if somebody's copied, if somebody's placed the family in the model and then modified it, when they do a sync with central, we know that it's been modified, and so we will increment this percentage. The Revit version that this family is built for, the file size when it was updated. I can sort this list by these various parameters. I have a filter, so I can filter the list. So I could, like filter it by the manufacturer or any other value, like by the list. So this is one way of viewing which families are in which lists. And I can also search. So I can search for blue dot. And so this is going to search on the name, and only the blue dot families are going to appear. Or the families with the name blue dot in their name will appear. So now, so there's a number of operations I can perform on a family. So I can add it to a list. I can add it to a collection. Load and edit, we already talked about. So there's just different ways of doing load and edit. Info takes me to the family page, family detail page, and we'll go and have a look at that in a second. I can rename it. I can unapprove it, and we'll come back to unapproving. I can download it. So download will copy it, we'll download it as a zip file with the RFA and the thumbnail. And then I can delete it. And we'll talk about deleting as well a bit later. Now, for any of these operations, I can also do them in bulk. So if you want to copy, like a number of families to a collection all in one go, you can do that. So we have select mode. So you go into select mode, and now I can select multiple families, and I can use the shift key to select a range. And then I can now apply any of these operations, like I can add this to a list, or I can even load all of these into my model in one go. And you can combine these things together. So I can select a subset of families using like a filter here. And then when I go into select mode, I have this select all option. So if I wanted to select all the furniture items, then I could do that with one go. Okay, so let's go and see what a family detail page looks like. So you can get to that from the info here, or you can just click on here. So this is the family detail page. This is all the information we hold about the family. So this, the family name, category, the version. So how many, so we looked at this before, how many instances have been placed in how many models in how many projects. But now I have this see instances button, so you can click on that. And so now I can go and see in detail exactly which model it has been placed in and how many instances have been placed in that model. And so I can see exactly where this family has been placed. We have the types. So we have a separate thumbnail for each type. And these thumbnails, you can actually see that there's a difference. We do store all the parameters. So all the parameters here are visible. And if the parameters differ on a kind of per type basis, then it says multiple values, and I can expand the list to see that. These are standard Revit parameters. These are shared parameters. This one is formula driven, and default parameter would be a instance parameter. And then you can see each type separately. So if you wanted to compare the parameters on a per type basis, you can do that. You can see the history of the family. So I can see where did this family come from and has anything happened to it since then? And so you can see, it came from a collection. It's been put into some other collections. And then we have a Revit version. So one thing to be aware of is that, if you put the same family with the same name, it will overwrite the existing one. But we consider families of different Revit versions to be different, and so you can have multiple families as long as they have differing Revit versions. So now there's a couple of things that we can that I said I would come back to. So one of them is unapprove. So from this three dot menu, you can also perform the same operations. So if I unapprove a family, so I unapprove this, it asks me to confirm. Okay, confirm. So now it's gone. So it's not in the main library anymore. It is now here in the pending approval section. And so since it was the most recently updated, it's at the top of the list here because it's sorted by updated. And so this is no longer searchable by users from Revit. If you want to put it back, I can just go approve and approve, and that puts it back into the main library. And you can do these in the same way that I just showed you, so you could do that in bulk if you want to. So the other thing you can do with a family is you can delete it. So we have delete. So it asks me again, confirm I want to delete, it's gone. So here we have recently deleted. So if I click on that, I can see, okay, this is the file that I just deleted, and I can either restore it or permanently delete it. So I'm going to restore this one. Now, the recently deleted list gets cleared up every 30 days. So you don't need to kind of manage it. but if you need to recover a family, you can go there to recover it.